Chapter 2, Part 7, on board the supernova heavy freighter Gabriel, en route to Jade Industries' Black Site Station. 4 hours later, Chief Lockwood sat quietly in the freighter's crew lounge. The room was clean and well furnished. The hum of the engines created a quiet white noise that filled the silence. Before him was a glowing data pad, his finger lightly scrolling through the manifest from the alien ship. Various weapons, materials, equipment, and provisions. Some of human origin and others foreign to him. He had changed out of his black flight suit and was wearing more comfortable clothing. Dark black camo pants with black boots. He wore a black hooded sweatshirt with a small jack of spades on the chest and the word Chief boldly printed across the back in white. His hazel eyes analyzed the pad, the blue light from the data pad illuminating his face. His hair was short, a mixture of light brown and gray. He set the pad down on the table in front of him and took a sip of his coffee. Sitting back in his chair, he thought over all the events from a few hours before. Nothing would have prepared him for what they discovered. Leo and Gideon were still in their ships escorting the freighter to its destination. The mysterious man was secured in an infirmary under guard by 6 Marines. His thoughts were interrupted by the sound of a door sliding open. The sound of footsteps slowly approached him. As he turned around, he saw a much-needed familiar face. She was wearing her usual black high-top canvas sneakers. The rest of her clothes were more professional in appearance. Tan dress pants hugged her legs. She wore a dark navy blue turtleneck under her white lab coat. Her skin was pale and had freckles over the bridge of her nose. Her eyes were a striking ice blue. Her hair was a deep brown, tied into a messy bun. "Amara, it's been a few months. How are you? How have your efforts been on Chala?" Chief Lockwood asked with a relaxed tone. Standing with her hands in her lab coat pockets, she replied, "It has been a while, hasn't it?" "I'm doing well. The pirate attacks on various settlements have kept me busy, to put it lightly. Your men have been making great progress securing the planet." "Shouldn't be too much longer," Amara replied. Her eyes looked over her friend's face. He looked happy, but she could see how tired his eyes were. His brown hair was even grayer than it was the last time they talked. The chaos that was the settled system was starting to take its toll. In a softer, quiet tone, Ashton asked, "How is Logan? Has his condition improved?" His eyes searched for a shred of hope. "I'm afraid not, Ashton. We still have yet to deduce what it is. It hasn't gotten worse, but it hasn't gotten better. It has not made his life easy these days." Amara's eyes held sadness and guilt. "I see. My work has kept me away from HQ for some time. Once this mysterious man situation gets sorted out, I'll visit before getting back to Luna." "That would be a good idea. Logan would be happy to see you," Amara said, wearing a somber smile. A subtle grin formed on Ashton's face. Thoughts of his best friend and all they've been through raced through his mind. Rubbing his eyes with his fingers, he sat back and gestured to the seat next to him. Amara sat down and produced a notepad and a set of glasses. Putting them on, she ran her left hand over her ear to move the hair out of the way. "Have you visited our mysterious guest yet?" "I have not, Ashton. I was planning on accompanying you once we have made it to the station." "What can you tell me about him?" "He is in bad shape. The damage he sustained from our engagement would have killed anyone else, even me. The corpsman who evaluated him discovered the man's left leg was practically broken. Right wrist was broken, physical and psychological damage to his head. Micro-fractures all over his body. To all our shock, he has started to heal, and his medical readings are unusual. Very interesting, she said, her relaxed tone shifting to one of curiosity as she twirled her pen in her left hand. What about the ship or the cargo? Anything unusual? Where do I start? How long do you have? With the gentle push of his right hand, he slid his data pad in front of her, the blue light obscuring her eyes behind her glasses. She held the data pad up with her right hand, scrolling up and down, analyzing everything. Ammo, several weapons, a variety of spacesuits, food. What's this? It says artifacts. Yes, that's what we called them. We discovered them inside some pretty sturdy crates. Even in this man's condition, he made a great effort to drag himself to them. We found him slumped against them with a gun in his hand. Whatever it is, it must be important. Without even taking her eyes away from the pad, she was taking notes with her other left hand dancing across the page. As she finished one last note, she gently set her pen down on the table. She took her glasses off and tucked them into the chest pocket of her lab coat. In a serious tone, she asked, "I heard this all started with a medical shuttle being attacked. Were there any survivors?" "No, I'm sorry, but we were unable to save the crew and 4 wounded on board." Ashton looked as the gentle complexion of Amara turned into one of stone, her eyes now cold and calculating. "Well, my dear Ashton, when you go to question this mysterious man, make sure you don't take it easy on him." Ashton simply nodded. To many, Amara was a kind woman, to some even an angel. Ashton knew that there were very few things that were more important than the lives of her patients and people under her. She would go to great lengths to protect them, and hearing of this tragedy infuriated her. "Attention all passengers. We are approaching our destination. Estimated time of arrival, 10 minutes. Part 8, Jade Industries Black Site, location, classified." Ashton and Amara made their way towards the main elevator of the star station. The hallway they walked down was wide and lined with lights on the top and bottom corners. The walls and ceilings were made of a white metal panel. Windows and the occasional plant passed as they walked. The sound of their footsteps were accompanied by the faint sound of typing and chatter coming from passing offices. Ashton's posture changed from relaxed back to his usual military-esque posture. Rounding the corner, they were greeted by 2 familiar faces. Captain Gideon, now out of his flight suit, was wearing a similar outfit to the chief's. Gideon had medium-length black hair that was parted in the middle. He never showed much emotion, a man of few words, as they say. His dark eyebrows made his pale green eyes even more prominent. Clean-shaven, standing with his hands in his pockets. Beside him was Captain Leo. She stood about 5 inches taller than her counterpart. She had long blonde hair with streaks of brown towards her roots that she had put into a messy bun. Her eyes were a deep blue. A Jack of Spades tattoo could be seen peeking out from her shirt collar. She wore the same black camo pants as the chief and Gideon. Her top was a form-fitting gray long sleeve that revealed her lean, muscular physique. She had her hands on her hips. They both had Nexus 45 caliber sidearms holstered on their right hips. They had a sleek and angular design, with a 2-tone color scheme, a silver metallic slide, and a matte black pistol grip. The trigger guard was enlarged for use with gloves. It was a symbol of a station within the Jade Defense Force. "Long time no see, Chief. Have a nice ride? Dr. Amara, how are you? I hope the Chief didn't bore you with shop talk," Leo said as she extended her hand out to Amara. "Hello, Leo. It is good to see you again. I trust you are keeping these 2 out of trouble?" As she gestured to the Chief and Gideon. "I do my best, Doctor." "Settle down, Captain Leo. We have important business to attend to," Ashton said in a serious tone. Fine, fine, you're the boss, Leo said as she gave a wink to the doctor. Gideon pressed the button for the elevator and the doors opened, gliding smoothly and with almost no noise aside from the sound of them stepping in. The man is already down on the detention floor. There has been no hostility or word spoken from him. His wounds have been taken care of and he was fed, Gideon informed the group. The elevator ride was only a couple minutes before they felt a subtle shift of momentum as the elevator came to a stop. Floor 03, detention level, the digital voice said. As the doors opened, a Marine yelled, "Attention on deck," and all the staff snapped to attention and faced the chief. At ease. Where's the prisoner? Right this way, Chief Lockwood. A Marine approached them wearing a gray spacesuit with a subtle black digital camo pattern. The Marine had a white top hat with a feather on his left shoulder armor, the symbol of the Mad Hatters, a unit specializing in the handling of dangerous individuals. On the right of his chest was another piece of armor plating that had the name Stanford and the rank insignia of a sergeant, 3 chevrons pointing upwards. His helmet's visor was obscured by more thin armor. In bold white letters on the right of his helmet was MH-1. Through a set of double doors was a dark hallway. Gone were the white, clean panels. The walls were gray and had amber lights lining the top corners of the walls on either side. Yellow lines ran the length of the walls, occasionally broken up by bold yellow letters saying, "Detention." They neared a metal door on the left side of the hallway, with 2 more Marines in identical armor as Stanford. Passing the door was a large viewing window. Inside the room, sitting up on a medical bed, was the mysterious man, now wearing a seafoam green hospital gown. In each corner of the room was a Marine standing, ever watchful. "So, this is the murder," Amara said matter-of-factly. The 2 Marines at the door stood even straighter as the group approached the door. The air was cold in the hallway. There was a subtle breeze coming from down the hall. The Marines at the door simultaneously greeted Lockwood. "Good afternoon, Chief." "Good afternoon," he replied back. The Marines stepped to the side and faced each other. Their movements were crisp and precise. Lockwood grabbed his ID card that was dangling from his belt and held it to the scanner. Access granted. Chief Lockwood. End of Jade Origins, Chapter 2, Part 7 and Part 1 of 8. Thanks for listening.